Yes, I'm an alcoholic. How did you know? Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Avery Harrison, aka Nerdy Comedian, and I went to Horror Nights. I went to Horror Nights not once but twice, and today I'm going to give you guys my honest review. So obviously I went twice. I went 1 week with my good friend Alexis. This is her TikTok page. You guys go check it out. Support her any way you can. And of course I went with my brother and his girlfriend the other week. They invited me. I didn't third wheel. Although kind of felt like I was a little brother that the older brother had to drag. Weird. Anyways, so it was a really good fun time they really killed it this year. Not just the houses that they had, of course, the good scare zones. John Murdy is always the fucking goat. By the way, if you guys don't know, I'll be reviewing the Hollywood Horror Nights, the Hollywood Horror Nights version of it. By the way, I'm leaving that in because screw you. I'm reviewing the Hollywood location because unfortunately that's where I live. I live in California. I live in Hollywood. I do not have more money to go to Florida. Maybe next year I'll do both. I do not know. I just unfortunately I can't afford both right now. But excuse me. So anyways, let's get on with our review. So the way I'm going to rank this down, especially when it comes to the walkthrough attractions, is very simple. The 4 review step is, of course, I took set design in college, so I'll be reviewing based on how the sets were, how good the sets were, was it highly detailed, or was it just black rooms everywhere, how was the lighting, just the set all around and overall. Number 2, I'll be reviewing them is based on the scares. How good were the scares? Was it very hard to see these scare actors? They really make you pop them out? Was it very easily to know that's where the scare actor will pop out? So forth and so on. Number 3 is, of course, how good was the house overall, the overall experience. Did I have to wait for so long? Did I have to, was it like a slow walkthrough where we had to stop and go, or was it, was it really fast? Did I get to see everything I wanted to see in the house and stuff like that? And then the 4th review is just how good the scare actors were in general. Not like the scares versus the scare actors. This one is going to get confused. I'll explain it quickly. So the scares, I say how good the scares were, but the scare actors themselves is what's going to differentiate between the scares and scare actors. How good are the scare actors? They really did a good job with their characters. Did they do really great? Were they just like and then walk away and stuff like that? How were they overall? And we're gonna just get started with the review. But first things first. From the intro.
Avery here. Now, for that last one, it might get confusing, so don't worry, I'll explain it to you right now. What I was trying to say is how good were the actors level, right? Were they really into character, or were they just done and tired for the night? That's mainly what I was trying to explain, but since I'm, a retard, yeah. Alright, let's continue on with this video.
Right, so let's begin. So obviously I'll be reviewing it based on the 2 nights that I went. 1 night with Alexis and 1 night with my brother. There were some mazes that I didn't do with Alexis that I had to do with my brother. There was one maze actually that I had to do with my brother, which was the Latin Monsters. I didn't do the Latin Monsters with Alexis. In fact, me and Alexis bought express passes for our night. So obviously I know that the long wait lines for the general lines were super long for this year, especially during when we went, me and Alexis, there were like 60-70 minute waits. So I'm not going to count the score for that for the general line. With me and my brother, when we went for our, we had the general ticket. Most of our wait times were like 20-30 minutes, surprisingly, for the night that we went. The only line that we had to wait for was as long as it should be was the Terrifier maze. So, by the way, you'll hear me say maze a lot because I will call the attraction. I know they're like walk-through attractions and everything, but I will call them mazes. So, be prepared and be warned. Um, but of course, but I am acknowledging the fact that it was indeed a long wait if you had a general ticket. And I'm sorry if you did, but it's not being differentiated in the score. What I'm actually like the score when it comes to like how slow was the wait was more or less of how long did we had to wait for like one to clear a section of the attraction. All right, so let's begin. So me and Alexis arrive at Horror Nights on the dot of like around 7:10. I got there a bit early because I wanted to buy some merch. Clearly, if you see the cup right behind me or the Yum Yum Devil Eggs here, don't mind the sticker right behind me. But, anyways, um, as you guys know, I went there early and then I waited for Alexis. She got there around 7:10, so we checked in, got our express pass, and we did our first ever maze or like attraction was the Terror Tram, which if you don't know about the Terror Tram, let me just quickly explain it to you. So over at the Hollywood location, because Universal Studios is still an active studio, we have something called the Studio Lot Tour. I mean, that's the whole point of Universal Studios to begin with, was they opened up as like a studio tour attraction, and then that's when they became a whole entire theme park. So Universal Studios started off with them being a studio tour. So they still have the studio tour. It's still ongoing to this day. I think they already celebrated like 100 years or so already, which is fantastic, or it's about to celebrate 100 years. Either way, like I think I already passed 100 years or so since they started this tour. And, it's still going strong and it's still building and stuff like that. So for Halloween Horror Nights, in order to like compensate for the fact that Universal Studios Hollywood is such a smaller park than, of course, its Florida location, they decided to do a Terror Tram every year, where you get on the Universal Studio tram. They take you to what is essentially is the Psycho set and War of the Worlds. Sorry. And they drop you off right then and there. You have to walk through that area, and then you get back on the tram and head back to the park. It's a fun little thing to do, and honestly, I call the Terror Tram like just a giant scare zone because it's so open. Like when you get dropped off, you're not like in an enclosed space. It's so open that you're mainly just walking through like a giant scare zone. But I mean, this year they have a different theme every year. I know for about a while it was like clowns from Eli Roth. Then it was The Purge. Jesus. I know one year it was this is just what in my mind when I'm reminiscing. I know one year it was just original called The Exterminator, which was a lot fun. I think they should do some originals for the Terror Tram. But I know this year they're celebrating 15 years of Blumhouse. Which was very exciting. So, 15 years of Blumhouse, they had all the Blumhouse movies from the Black Phone 2, Exorcist, Believer, all the Insidious movies. They also had, The Purge, because, being milked since 2012, essentially. And they had, like, Megan there, and so like I said, it's just one giant scare zone. I'll just rank this at a 7 out of 10 just to be fair. It was average. It was fine. It was cool. I'm a fan of the movies. So is Alexis, and so is, of course, my brother and his girlfriend. She was a huge fan of Black Phone. She went to go see Black Phone 2 with him, like before they went went with me for their Horror Nights trip. So they got to see the Black Phone 2, like I guess like the attraction that was there for the Terror Tram. So they said it was fun. But I give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, it's so open. You're able to see where the scare actors pop out. But I'm not saying they didn't do a good job. Some of the scares did get me because I hate the Exorcist movies. I don't hate them because I'm like not because I just hate them how they made. I don't hate them that way. I hate them because I don't mess with that stuff. I don't like those horror movies in general. So it did get me, especially Insidious 2 got me. I just don't like those movies in general. So, good job to the scare actors that did that. And, but overall, the Terror Tram, for me, sometimes I'll just hit or miss. But which is great, Express Pass, me and Alexis just did it. And then, of course, me and my brother and his girlfriend did it too as well. That was like one of the first houses we hit. All right. So after Terror Tram, me and Alexis, we go down to the lower lot. Finally, just to hit up the lower lot to get it out of the way. The first ever maze we did was the Five Nights at Freddy's maze. Now, I am a Five Nights at Freddy's maze. I mean, clearly from the intro and from the cup I'm drinking out of. You know, me and me and Alexis. I grew up with the game. Alexis knew about the game. She watched the movie. She said it was good. But I grew up with both the video games, the whole entire line of the video game series, and of course, I watched the movie and I thought it was good. I enjoyed it as a fan. So of course, the maze was based off the movie, and some of the mazes was a whole lot different than from the Florida location because again, clearly these are two different parks when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. I know Florida Halloween Horror Nights is more, it's a lot more better than our Horror Nights. But I love our Horror Nights because we have more of the IPs than they do in Florida. But I wouldn't want to go to the Florida one to compare and contrast the two sometime, in the next future. So be on the lookout for that if you guys want to watch that video. But anyways, so moving on to a Five Nights at Freddy's maze, we enter. And for this one, I'm gonna give it 8.5 out of 10. Clearly I was expecting to see, when you walk in. By the way, I know it's like spoilers, but I mean it's past Halloween by the time we're releasing this video. In fact, it is already past Halloween when I release this video. So I'll be, all the POVs would have been out, all the reviews, more professional reviews for the houses are already out. So, anyways, the Five Nights at Freddy's maze in Hollywood, when you walk in, you see the stage, it's just Freddy. You just see silhouettes of Bonnie and Chica. You don't see them like in the Florida version. They do have Foxy that scares you though. At least the kid is supposed to be in Foxy. By the way, if you don't know the FNAF lore, it's pretty simple. William Afton, which is played by Matthew Lillard, or just in the video games, it's William Afton. He's basically a serial killer and a murderer. He kills like kids and stuff like that. It's a whole thing. But all you need to know, he's killed 5 children, stuffed them in the animatronic bodies, and now their souls haunt the 5 animatronics. It's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and of course Golden Freddy. But anyways, let's move on from that. Now, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's maze was a mix of animatronic and live scare actors, but they really hide the live scare actors very well because you're mainly trying to see the animatronics, so you don't see the live actor coming at you. That's not until when you see them in your peripheral vision that you're just like, oh. So some of them did get me, some of them did get Alexis too. And overall, it was the set was really good. It smelled like an old pizza place, reminded me of Chuck E. Cheese, like a dilapidated Chuck E. Cheese growing up. And clearly they struck the vibe, Horror Nights this year. They sold these little plastic cups. By the way, I'll be ranking the merch further on in this video. I'm just praising my horn. But overall, 8.5 out of 10. Some of the scares were just animatronic, so it was pretty obvious. By the way, shout out to one of my friends, Uriel Moon. He's another comedian like me, and he worked Horror Nights.
Hey guys, what's up? Editor Avery here. I'm just gonna have to ramble on for just a little bit here because there's some stuff that I shouldn't have said, and in order to respect the people at Universal and Uriel, so he could keep doing this every year, I'm just gonna continue rambling on. I hope you guys are enjoying the review so far. I know I'm loving it. Tell me what you guys think below in the comment section, and as always,
Thank you, Uriel, for scaring the piss out of me. You little bitch. By the way, support Cum Show. Anyways, so continuing on, after we get out of the Five Nights at Freddy's maze, me and Alexis, we hit up the Scarecrow Music by Slash maze, and that one was really scary. I give that one a 10 out of 10. My God! First off, the set alone, when you enter in the set, the opening pieces for all the sets are just amazing in general for all of them. Scarecrow is absolutely amazing. They had a still scare actor that would come out that's walking around outside of the maze first, and then before you walked in, and it was just fantastic. It was absolutely, really good. But what made this really great was not only the set design; it was really dark inside. So, you know, if those characters really come out, you would really have your focus and attention on them. But, you know, the set design was really good. The scares were amazing. It's like, you know, you don't, when you think of this is why I want to go to the Florida location, because of all their originals. Because, you know, when you think of all, like, you know, especially here in Hollywood with their IPs, you know, with all heavily IP based houses, that when you do see or hear the originals coming out, you're always thinking, oh, it's not going to be scary, right? Like, because you're expecting the IPs. But then as soon as you enter the original houses, it's like you're coming out of there like laughing with your friends off that, like, you know, scare actor number, I don't know, 10 in like this part of the section, like really got you guys good. And that's what Scarecrow did. It got me. And Alexis really good. In fact, I remember like throughout the hall, all of our mazes and stuff like that, Alexis was screaming because they would always get her before me. So if like, if I would see the scare actor come out before like our go, like I'll be like, okay, well, I'll walk, and then right behind me, I'm just hearing Alexis scream off the back of my head, and I'm just laughing on the inside. But then after that, Karma would get me, and I would be scared by the next guy. So I'm like, okay, asshole, you got me. But you know, Scarecrow the Reaping was really good. It was fine. 10 out of 10 maze. I call it Scarecrow the Reaping, but it's Scarecrow music by Slash. Really good maze. Job well done. Me and Alexis, then we would get our first food of the night. Me and Alexis, we bought some food. We did the Five Nights at Freddy's pizza right here, which, by the way, the pizza, not that bad for theme park pizza. It was like our own personal like pie slice. Me and her, we got like pepperoni pizza. I also got a cupcake too with my brother over there because it was his birthday hitting midnight when we went. It was his birthday was about to hit at midnight. So I got us like a cupcake to share with him, and he took the first bite out of it just, you know, to say happy birthday, which is cool. Now I normally don't like drinking in the theme parks, but you know, for this one like occasion for Horror Nights, I did drink just because I wanted to try the drinks. And some of the drinks I tried was mainly the stuff from the Fallout area, or I didn't really try anything like going upstairs like at the Slash bar. Just because me and Alexis didn't have time for that. But I did have the nuclear blast from Fallout, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I'll explain it now. I brought it up, dumbass. The sign should tell you more than enough. Anyways, so I had the nuclear blast, which was just basically, it was like a gin-based cocktail. And it was good. It was really amazing. You know, I didn't think I would enjoy that as much as I should have. You know, I tried it when I was there with my brother, and it was amazing. I was, you know, just sipping it along as we were eating over there at the Fallout area, which I also ate with Alexis too, the Fallout area, which we'll get to later. Anyways, going back to the houses. So after we did Scarecrow, after we ate, we decided to do some of the other attractions there too. So the third attraction we hit was the White Six, the Horrors of the White Six. Now this one was the one I was mainly anticipating for. Yes, Terrifier was good, and yes, being a Fallout fan, I was also expecting Fallout 2, but I am also a WWE fan, and I was, you know, really wanting to do the Horrors of the White Six. I couldn't go to Horror Nights, especially me and my brother, we couldn't do Horror Nights without doing the maze that we both wanted to do, which was Horrors of the White Six. And yes, totally biased, but 10 out of 10. You know, I mean, clearly, you know, Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt, you know, the legacy they both left was indeed amazing. And, you know, when me and my brother, you know, when I approached it with Alexis when I first went, you know, Alexis didn't really get some of the references that, you know, I was spewing out. But, you know, it was emotional for me. You know, when you first enter the maze for Horror Nights, you know, you see the rocking chair with a light, and it's Bray's voice. You know, the moment I heard Bray's voice, I got real emotional for a minute there. I got really emotional. just hearing his voice once more again. You know, as a WWE fan, you don't get to hear his voice a lot, and you know, throughout the whole maze, you know, seeing Uncle Howdy, you know, seeing Sister Abigail, seeing, you know, seeing the Fiend, seeing Alexa Bliss pops out as a little cameo. You know, it was amazing. I enjoyed it, and I think, you know, I really think Universal did a good job for. Oh God. I think they really did a good job for Wyatt and the Wyatt Six. You know, the set was good. All the references that they were making is really good. You know, the Firefly house was amazing. Even though it was just a small section for it, and then towards the end, you see a poster that says "For Bray." You know, and you know, after that maze I did with Alexis, you know, I was walking out and I said I loved it, and then I did it with my brother, and my brother, you know, I knew about the maze already. He already did this, and my brother was also getting emotional too, just doing this maze for doing the Horrors of the Wyatt Six maze. The moment he heard Bray's voice as well, he started to get like teary-eyed a little bit, and then you walk in and immediately get scared. So, you know, all the emotions were more or less of like sad, and then and then we walked out the whole entirety of the attraction, and it was fun. We had a blast in there, and again, you know, shout out, you know, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper. I know you guys were watching up there as you know, your people were walking through that maze too as well, when they went, and seeing it all happen for you guys. We're gonna need to take a drink breather for this one. By the way, if you're wondering if we did some of the rides, we did. So, because we had Express Pass, the Super Nintendo World at the Hollywood location was open from 7 to 10. So you're able to go into the Super Mario World, and it was a lot better. I did the Super Nintendo World, and you know, I was like, it's all right. And then when we did it for our Horror Nights, it was like a way better experience. I guess because the fact that we didn't have kids screaming in our ear throughout the whole time. So it was indeed fun. It was indeed amazing. You know, and then me and you know, Alexis, you know, if you don't know about my friend Alexis, she like still recovering from like a car crash accident that she had. So she didn't do some of the rides that, you know, I was doing, because she had to sit down for a minute after us like walking. So, you know, I obviously have to do Revenge of the Mummy because that's my favorite ride at Universal. The Transformers. I didn't do Jurassic World just because I didn't want to get wet, and because we knew we were going to hit the Terrifier house. So what's the whole point of me getting double wet, you know? Now, alright, so after Horrors of the Wyatt 6, me and Alexis did the Jason's Universe maze, which was right, like, close to Horrors of the Wyatt 6. So we did Jason's Universe, and I would probably give that one a 9 out of 10. I give that one a 9 out of 10 because some of the scares did get me a whole lot more than Alexis did in this maze. So, you know, Jason's Universe in this one, it's like, yes, they have Jason, they have the famous Jason kills, at least some of them, but in this one, it was more of you're in the perspective of being hunted by Jason. You're the one that is the dumb camp counselor that decided, yeah, this year will be fine, kids. Like, don't worry, a kid who drowned in the lake is now his mom's taking revenge. Nah, that's just a story. You know, that's just a theory, you know? So, put you in the shoes of, like, his victims. And, you know, some of the scares were really good. Seeing, especially that Bo Archer scene, was the one that got me, because I knew it was coming when I entered, when I see him, you know, shoot it. But I didn't think that, like, the lady would physically jump at me. You know, I thought she'll just lean and then, you know, walk away to, like, reset the stage or reset the scene. But during my run, as soon as I walked and I see the kill, I see the flashing light, and I see her get close, and I'm just like, but you know, most of the scares did get me. The set design, you know, I thought it was pretty good. So no, Alexis said that she didn't really like some of the set, you know, but yeah, you know, it was good. So after that, we go up to the upper lot. By the way, if you're confused on like lower lot, upper lot, what do you mean? So again, Universal Studios Hollywood is the original location. Universal Studios is separated by two lots. There's the upper lot and lower lot. You enter the park through the upper lot, and that's how you enter and exit. On the lower lot is where like everything's at. So you know, in order to get to the upper lot, lower lot, you're thinking, man, it's a lot of stairs, stuff like that. Or man, you enter the vehicle and you get out the lower lot and you gotta go up the upper lot. Like no, you ride Universal's greatest ride ever. Will be soon to be second greatest ride ever once Fast and Furious Coaster opens. The escalators, there's like 4 sets of escalators that you ride on Universal, and it's hilarious because you have to ride all 4 of them just to get to point A to point B. Yes, there's stairs to take, and my God, on Halloween Horror Nights, you're insane if you decide to climb up all those flight of stairs. I applaud you. By the way, you're already getting your steps in at Halloween Horror Nights, so you know, I applaud you some more if you're doing your steps.
I just checked my step counts from both Halloween Horror Nights, and in total, I did about close to around 20 to 21,000 steps. Yeah, my feet hurt.
So we go up the stairs, and we immediately go to the center plaza where the other 2 mazes are. Now, we didn't do the monsters ride, the monsters walkthrough for me and Alexis. I did it with my brother. But for this next maze, which is my personal favorite, Fallout. And, you know, this is some of the stuff that they have at the Fallout area. So for the Fallout drinks and stuff like that, you know, they had Radaway, which was fun, which is like a Chipotle brown sugar lemonade. And, you know, at first hearing that is like, ooh, you know, right? Like, how good was that? It's pretty decent. You know, I got a, you know, it was good, you know, for it. The way you would drink it is, you know, you would drink it via like this, and then you would just 3, 2, 1, and shoot it down in your, you know, you gulp it all the way down. But, you know, this is fun to have. I'm keeping this, hanging it up here. So, oh yeah, and also I had this deviled eggs. They're kind of like a Jello deviled egg. It was like more of a gelatin based. Oh no! It was more of a Jello base, and I honestly have to say it was kind of okay. It was decent. You know, actually no, it wasn't decent. It was interesting. Terrible. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. I'm sorry. But anyways, going back to the Fallout maze, this one I have to give a 7.5 out of 10. You know, the Fallout maze was located where the, you know, where that year-long Walking Dead attraction used to be at. You know, if you don't know, Universal used to do this thing where it was like the Walking Dead attraction every year, you know, right? Because that's what replaced, you know, their like House of Horrors at Universal. House of Horrors was a thing that they would have year round. So for the Walking Dead mazes there, then now it's just like a show building that they use for every year for Horror Nights. And honestly, as a Fallout fan, it was based off the show. You know, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Some of the scares, you know, wish they could have added a lot more like scares for the show. You know, but I mean, it is the Fallout universe. You know, when people think of Fallout, they think of like, you know, rootin' tootin', you know, point and shooting. You know, they think of, you know, bang, 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 raider here, raider there, and you know, all that stuff. So they're not, you know, they're not thinking, well, how can Fallout be scary? You know, the ghoul scene for the supermarket is what really got me and Alexis together. You know, but like when you enter, you have that vault scene where the raiders raid and everything like that. It was fine. It was okay. Wasn't too, you know, wasn't too scary. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed the Fallout maze. I enjoyed it as a Fallout fan. I loved it. So After we did, after we got out Fallout, it was showtime. We went to go see the two shows. Well, I went to go see the Chainsaw Man show, but I also got to see The Purge: Dangerous Waters, which was fun. It was fantastic. It was a good show. Enjoy it every year that they have it for Fallout because it's The Purge. They get milked every year. Uh, so Purge: Dangerous Waters, that's what they used the Waterworld set for, and it was fun. It was fantastic. It was amazing. They did a good job with the with their show. Obviously they made a good choice to utilize the Waterworld set and not instead of just having it stand still and not be used. It's an amazing idea to use it. I think next year they should maybe do a different show. Maybe, who knows? I don't know if you could do a different show, but we'll have to see how next year goes. After that, went to go see the Chainsaw Man show. Alexis didn't want to. She didn't want to go sit in the DreamWorks theater. And honestly, I should have skipped it. I really should have skipped it. What should have been a quick show of you sit down, see the attraction and everything, took longer than 40 minutes. Don't get me wrong, I had Express Pass, and so I went in. I was at the front of the line, and I waited for a good solid 10 minutes outside. You went inside the thing, and then you kind of waited for 20 minutes inside before you were let into the theater, and then it was a 20-minute showing. So in total, it was a 50-minute wait for this show. But honestly, it should have been skipped. Really, I don't think as the anime fan that I am, I'm familiar with Chainsaw Man. I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I was like, yeah, this is fine. But I don't know, waiting 50 minutes would I normally know what goes on for DreamWorks Theater should have been a bit shorter. Shorter of a wait time. But whatever. No, I shouldn't be complaining about wait times, by the way, too. I'm pretty sure, trying to fit people in, make sure they're seated, and then, sorry, hold on, I'm looking at my cat. Anyways, cat break. Yeah. Seriously, really, though, this one is really getting on my last nerves. This is probably the third or fourth time I have to record because she will always be a little bothered. But don't worry, I love her. Ah, you little fuck. Yeah. Alright, you want to get put down? You want to get down? Alright, I'm gonna let you put down. No, I'm pretty sure, of course it takes time, and I'm not saying that the cast members as well for Universal did a terrible job of that. Just more or less of it's a DreamWorks show. How much of a wait, how much more waiting do you do? You know what I mean? Okay, so we got the shows out of the way, and we decided to skip the Latin Monsters. So we had two houses left to go. So we head off to the Terrifier and Poltergeist. And the first one we do is Poltergeist. We decided to do Terrifier last and Poltergeist. So we did Poltergeist, and honestly, that was gonna be solid another 6 out of 10. Not because I don't like Poltergeist movie. In fact, I watched Poltergeist, and it's a good horror movie. But as for the walkthrough attraction, didn't really enjoy it so well. Some of the scares were easily known to were easily be seen. And some of the when walking through, it was very easy to see the scares. The set as a whole was okay. Some bits and parts was kind of open in a sense, so you're able to kind of avoid the scares. I don't like it when it's more narrow, Scarecrow Music by Slash was more narrow, so you had no choice but to see the scares. I feel this one was more was more open. Overall, really just didn't get me. It didn't get Alexis either. She could agree that Poltergeist was really low. Um, but anyways, moving on to Terrifier. Now we're gonna do Terrifier. But before I do Terrifier, now let's go. Let's put a pause on Terrifier and let's go to my brother's side. Um, so for my brother's night, we did do the Latin American monsters, 4 hours. Anyways, so Latin monsters. Um, went in and obviously it was La Llorona was the big monster to see. And honestly, I'm gonna rate this one out of a 8 out of 10. This one is actually pretty good. Pretty good. I wish me and Alexis didn't skip this, but we did. Towards the end, we skipped it. Uh, but when we did it with my brother, it wasn't a thing we need to skip. We didn't try to skip. That was another thing we went to go see. And obviously, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was fantastic. Some of the scares that would pop out, the scene where, La Llorona, she pops out of the lake, like at the house where it's like, there's a little like pond or whatever, where the kids like bodies at, she pops out, that one got me. I was too busy paying attention to the kids swimming. So that one was funny. And that was funny in the sense of like me getting scared by La Llorona. But overall, it was a good set. The scenes did hit where it needed to hit. The set overall was amazing. It's fantastic. Glad Universal Studios, Hollywood is doing this. Hopefully they do one next year again, maybe a fourth one. This time maybe with different monsters. Maybe, maybe we should do like American monsters, like American folklore. Like the Mothman and all this other stuff from West Virginia. They should do that. They should really do that. Alright. Now on to Terrifier. This was both of our last night choice with me, my brother, his girlfriend, and then me and Alexis. So let's get to it. So I am a fan of the Terrifier movies. So is Alexis, so is my brother, so is his girlfriend. So we did the Terrifier maze as last, and as soon as we seen the opening set piece, it was amazing. It was fantastic. We both, all of us knew it was going to be a good time. And especially too for the Hollywood location, this one only had wet only. They didn't have like a wet and dry path like Florida did. This one was just wet only. Like you had to deal with wet no matter what. So me, my brother, and his girlfriend, and then of course me and Alexis. Let's just stick with me and Alexis. Me and Alexis, we went into Terrifier, and honestly, it was amazing. 9 out of 10. Clearly, like, if you're going in there listen. If you're going into the Terrifier movie or in the maze without knowing the damn movie and you're seeing some of the scares, you're kind of thinking this is like mid. But as a fan of the Terrifier movies, we had a blast. All of us were like, complimenting art on the kills. There's one where, there's like one scene, in the maze where he's like cutting this like voodoo person's, whole like, jaw off, and is wearing the wig and the hair and and all that. And me and Alexis, and then me and my brother, we all went in and just clapped at Art. I was saying, like gorgeous, honey, like gorgeous, and this character playing Art was just like doing all Art expressions the way that Art normally is in the movie. The clown cafe was fun. Art pops out out of a little like RV, with a little like handsaw. Especially for me and Alexis, because he got both of us, right? Like we both got jumped. Because what me and Alexis were doing, because as soon as the Clown Cafe song was going, me and Alexis just kept dancing like this. And then all of a sudden, like Art pops out. We both get scared for a minute, and Art scares us, and then the scare actor goes back to doing what we were doing. So we all just kind of like were walking out of the scene, going like, me and Alexis were just going like this, but clearly, me and Alexis, after we both got scared, we're just kind of like. We're having fun. It's a good time. The naughty potty scene was indeed, the smell was horrendous. It was not the greatest of all smells. art in that one, especially the character that comes out for forgot her character's name. I think forgot her character's name for the first movie. Well, first and third. She's also mentioned in the second. It's forgot her name. But anyways, like she pops out of like the bathroom window. So I got Alexis both twice as I was walking away, and I'm just laughing in the background. And then of course comes like the Santa scene. We were all kind of waiting for Art to pop out for the chainsaw, so we're all kind of like slowing down. And we apologize for people who were in the maze with us. We apologize for the people who were in the house with us as we were slowing down. But then again, I think everyone was trying to slow down for this maze to see Art come out with the chainsaw. And as soon as Art did, we all just we're like, yeah, Art, 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 Art. We kept on walking. And then we went to, then we go through like the wet area, and I didn't get soaking wet, neither did Alexis. It was like a mist water, but I mean it was fine for us. We did get wet. It wasn't drenched water, but we did get wet, and it was fantastic. It was great. We had a blast. Again, I'm a fan of the movies. Can't wait for the fourth one. And obviously all the characters, by the way, too. Fantastic job. Once again, shout out to my friend Uriel Moon. And any scare actors that are watching this review, just want to say thank you. Thank you. You guys got us all, especially the scare actors in the scare zones areas. So the scare zones, really good. Murder of Crows was fun. So was the Chainsaw Clowns, and the Carnival of Carnage was really good. Shout out to the scare actors who, when I was waiting for my brother and his girlfriend to get here, I was waiting inside the park. Shout out to those scare actors who were with us throughout that whole time. Shout out to the Murder of Crows scare actor who interacted with me for a little bit. Guy who played Art the Clown. Shout out to you, the guys who played Art the Clown at Horror Nights. Shout out to you guys. You guys did amazing. You guys did a fantastic job, portraying how Art normally is, especially with the actor who does play Art, how the mannerisms of Art really is. It's truly amazing that you guys have done that. And, the way you guys did that too. And, shout out to any of the other Scare Zone actors you guys are there. I know in the Terror Tram, they had like the swamp thing going on over there. Congratulations to you guys too. You guys really did get me and Alexis when transversing, exiting out and into the Terror Tram. That was indeed an amazing thing you guys did. Do that every year, please. Have a little Scare Zone before the Terror Tram just to kind of shake things up. That's fantastic as well. And of course, shout out to the Dia de los Muertos area, the little Day of the Dead area, and after the ending of the monsters mazes, that little scare zone area. Shout out to you guys. You guys did a fantastic job. Fantastic job all around for the scare actors. Give them a round of applause, for what they put their selves through on the line, just of like working long shifts, not only working just like a long shift, but being in like heavy makeup or masks or heavy gear, having to like endure movement and like trying to cause you're working heat, working body, heat and everything like that. So just, you guys did a fantastic job. Appreciate what you guys have done. All in all, I mean, what do I rate Horror Nights in general this year? Give it an 8.5 out of 10. There were some downs, like the Chainsaw Man show, but overall, just a major improvement on a lot of things that were missing. Because clearly, pandemic times, there are certain things you couldn't do, and now that I think fully 2025 was like the full year you could bring a whole lot of things back, like fully on full, on everything. Was really good, some of the food as well. Oh, forgot about food. Duh. The Fallout food was amazing. I had the iguana on the stick, was just like these like like cheese crusted corn dogs, like 4 of them in a row on a stick on a bed of fries. It was amazing. The drinks, I had both the Nuclear Quantum, this is usually Nuclear Cola Quantum drink that was really good, and then I had the Sunset Sarsaparilla, which is like a hot honey root beer. That was amazing too. That was really good. It was interesting flavor. Um, and just overall, I mean, the food was fantastic. I didn't have any complaints about the food. I also didn't have any complaints about the drinks either. They're really good. That Radaway expected it to be a whole lot more nastier, but it was pretty interesting, and the flavors combined. Um, but overall, 8.5 out of 10 for this year's Horror Nights, and I hope next year's a lot better. With that being said, this is probably the worst review that anyone has ever given. Maybe. Then again, I'm also recording this like late at night, and I've also just decided to do it now and to show off an excuse for this Freddy Fazbear Cup mug. Definitely not doing this as a tax write-off. Oh, forgot to talk about the merch. The merch, I have a Fallout shirt. I did have a Horrors of the White Six poster. Said you did because I gave that away at one of the karaoke things that I host. One of the karaoke shows that I host for charity during the fans charities, which, by the way, check out my Instagram page if you guys want to know more about that. And I did buy myself art sunglasses, like the sunflower glasses, but I gave those to my brother's girlfriend because when she went, she had a full-on like Terrifier shirt, so I gave that to her, and she kind of interacted with art for a little bit. She did interact with art, she put on the sunglasses, and art was like, like reacting to it, and so was I. When I put them on, sometimes too, I would point out and walk away and stuff like that. But overall, it was a good night that night. I enjoyed it. Sad it's now gone. I seen the ending video of like John Murdy walking with the scare actors towards the end for the ending show, and honestly, I have to say it's fantastic. I mean, once again, John, you do an amazing job. It's a really good time, and I enjoyed it. I can't wait for next year. Can't wait to go to the Florida location for Horror Nights again, and I'm also wanting to go down for the Vegas location. For the year-round Vegas thing that they have. Can't wait to see what that's gonna be like when I do. So we'll see when we see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nerdy Comedian, me, signing off. And the way we're signing off is we're finishing this.